While I'm driving, I wanted to share with you what a crazy day I had today. I woke up in the city in Brazil, and my plan was to cross into Paraguay, pick up my rented car, and drive as much as I could manage during the daylight. I knew I didn't need a visa to enter Paraguay. I just needed to pick up my car there before 11 a.m. since they closed at that time for the weekend. So I got to the Friendship Bridge, which crosses the Paraná River and connects the Brazilian city of Foz do Iguaçu with the second largest city in Paraguay, Ciudad del Este. The bridge is very important to the economies of both Foz do Iguaçu and Ciudad del Este.
Paraná River. On the right is Brazil, on the left is Paraguay. And this is the madness. And everyone is walking on a Saturday morning to Paraguay. Shopping paradise, they say. Or maybe shopping hell.
The Friendship Bridge is a major point for smuggling in the region, with Brazilians coming to purchase stuff from Paraguay, as Paraguay does not impose tariffs on foreign goods. In fact, about 85% of Paraguay's tourism comes from Brazil and Argentina, and mostly from short-term visits to Ciudad del Este.
Entering Paraguay. Well, almost. I still have to go through the border check. So I made it through the border. No one was checking people in, just a free flow. So now I have to find some transport to get to the car rental office.
Shortly after, I made it to the car rental office, and they said, "You do not have a Paraguayan entry stamp in your passport. You need to go back to the border and get the stamp." And I was like, "They just let me in. And besides, you close in 1 hour. There is no way I'll make it back in time." So, after some time, they relented and said, "We will give you the car, but you must go back to the bridge and get the entry stamp." At that point, I would agree with almost anything to get the car, but in reality, I wasn't thinking that I would do that. After getting the car, I walked to the nearest bank to change some US dollars into local currency, and they requested my passport. And after checking it, I was told that I am in Paraguay illegally and they cannot change any currency for me. At that point, I knew I must go to the border to get the bloody entry stamp. However, when I got to the Paraguayan border station, which previously let me in without a stamp, they told me that I have to cross the bridge back to Brazil since I have not officially left Brazil, and therefore they cannot let me into the Paraguay. I was very lucky that the Paraguayan taxi driver was extremely helpful and helped me navigate the place and bureaucracy. But anyway, we literally ran across the bridge to Brazil. There I got the Brazilian exit stamp and we caught a ride back to Paraguay. However, in the meantime, the border control office became very crowded, and my new friend, the taxi driver, just jumped in front of the crowded office and police and made a speech. Of course, I didn't understand a word, but the result was clear. All those folks and the policemen let me jump in front of the line, and I got finally the Paraguayan entry stamp in my passport and became an official visitor to Paraguay. So, in the end, everything worked out fine, but it certainly was a stressful first half of the day. And later on, I was actually stopped at a police checkpoint along with everyone driving that road and had an encounter with police. They were not happy with my car paperwork, I guess, but since I don't speak Paraguayan, Guarani, or Spanish, the two official languages of the country, they eventually let me go. So, what is the moral of the story? I really don't know. If things can go wrong, they will. Or do your research before you travel anywhere. Or there is always a surprise on the road, or whatever. Maybe it is just when you travel, expect the unexpected and don't stress about it too much. Well, thanks for joining me today. Have a good day and take care and get entry stamps if you need them.